police lights, field sobriety tests, why experts say more is needed to crack down on drunk driving. Good evening, I'm Mallory Maddox.
And I'm John Isley. Drinking and driving continues in Nebraska. There are harsh penalties, but why is it a growing problem?
Our Bradley Showright continues our coverage. Bradley?
John and Mallory, you know, it's actually a very harsh reality that every single day there are people being seen on DUI-related crimes. However, one local group in Nebraska is trying to reduce and prevent those alcohol-related crimes.
We've heard it said over and over again, when it comes to drinking and driving, it's simple.
Don't do it.
Diane Reeby with Project Extra Mile is part of a coalition combating underage drinking and the harm that it causes.
And so Nebraska has some really high numbers in terms of its binge drinking and its excessive consumption. So that's really what we focus on.
Newly appointed Omaha City Prosecutor Matt Kuzy's frustration is to see more DUI arrests when we would expect to see fewer.
Penalties have been increased. You get your license taken away. There's so many disincentives to not drink and drive and so many opportunities to avoid having to drink and drive. It really boggles my mind why it still keeps happening. I would have hoped that with the rise of Uber and Lyft and the increased prevalence of taxis here in Omaha, it would have kind of dipped down a little bit, but you haven't seen that kind of drop.
The Millard School District says it's doing its part to cut down on underage drinking too.
We implemented several years ago the use of alcohol wands, and we use those at the entrances of games and activities and school events. And we basically pre-screen students who are coming into the event for any indication of alcohol.
It's initiatives like these in schools that Reeby says help the coalition.
When you have schools as partners, that's always helpful. And so it's good to see Millard as a school system taking a proactive step in making certain that young people aren't consuming alcohol and then coming to events.
Now, Jelkin did say that those alcohol wands are actually a huge success right now. He says that some students even credit it as a way to just say no to drinking and alcohol altogether, as they know there will be definite consequences if they show up to a school-related event under the influence.
Well, Bradley, what about a school event, perhaps? Would they still be wanted for something like that?
Yeah, great question, John. Actually, they kind of go by a random system. They could wand every student. They could wand every fifth student. It just kind of depends on what administration decides to do that day. However, once they do decide, they will keep that system in place, only to break it if they do see a student who is visibly intoxicated. John and Mallory.
Thank you, Bradley Showright, reporting live tonight.